We're live. Oh my, no, Copes. You made me late. No. I'm what am I, like 8? I think I was 8 seconds late. Danny Boyd, the one-eyed cat, Cope. Oh, there's 9 in here now. Yeah. I'm back in the dungeon, but I'm gonna make it up to you guys because I've got some giveaways tonight. Ooh. This is quite a project going on up here. Today was payday for the folks I got helping me do some drywall. Pure Pontiac Garage, Lunar saying roll call, NSB Custom Cars, Auto Salvage Outlaws, everybody rolling in now. Yep, so I do this year round, and Friday night is the night that I dedicate to hanging out with you guys, and we got some good stuff coming up on No Name Nationals updates here real soon. I just mailed out a big, heavy package to our race director, Barkley Schmidt, and I was putting the finishing touches on some stuff with that. It's stuff really starting to roll fast on that end now, and you guys are going to get an update here real soon. I like to get things tied up before an update so that I'm not backtracking and making changes. I got a few little things I'm working out on the schedule, but it's going to be a pretty exciting update. Cope says it looks like I'm in a jail. Cope, it feels like I'm in a jail. I've been stuck in this place working up here. So in that room in there, drywall's up, and I've got a place where the wall it doesn't fit right, and it never fit right. This house is built in '49, and I bet you couldn't stick a level anywhere on any of these walls and not have it rock, because it's just nothing was built. Everything was by eye, which when you think about that is pretty amazing. But when you go to measuring it, you can tell. Andrew Nelson is here. What's going on, man? Andrew Nelson, I was thinking about it. I was really close to hosting this live from your place. I was thinking about it. Just got too much going on. Dave, let's see here. Dean Stevens. One of cats asking if I'm the Shawshank. No, I am not. Because let me tell you, I would have already crawled through 500 yards of a sewer pipe to get out of doing this work if I was. Rob's Rob the Streetcars, Justin Hill, Colleen Tebow. Colleen, I'm looking for a header video. Yeah, Andrew, I thought about it. Man, I was so close to it because I'd love to have done it. I'm just stretched so thin this year. But this year, this is getting over with, and next year will be so much better. You don't realize how much a project like this takes from your time when you were already, found a balance with work and stuff like that, and then you have to put so much time in here, and you don't realize how many places you're taking it from until you've done it for months and months and months, and then you see the cumulative effect at work, you see the cumulative effect on your projects, cumulative effect at home. It sucks. But that's the way it works. So I'll get all caught up on everything. Justin Hill says, you're in a different room. I'm actually in the room I was in not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that. I'm in the same place where I did a live with Shane Polito on Tech Talk Live. I'm the interim guest host when Dallas can't make it. Danny Boyd's made quite a bit indirectly off of drywall. Yeah. Andrew says, I could appreciate having a tough year. Indeed. Andrew probably trade me like that. He's had a rougher year than I, for sure. Colleen's had a lot going on. Yes, I know you guys have. But I just heard there's header news. So, of course, I'm excited to see it. One-eyed cat says a cumulative effect on your mental state. Yeah, I guess it kind of sneaks up on you too. I'll come here for a few days. I'll go home. I'll come back for a few days. And one thing that's just so different and frustrating here, this is a smaller town than where I live. I live about 79 miles from here. But like here, I was looking for some 2-inch angle iron, right? No big deal. I looked for 3 hours. You can't find it. It's amazing what you can't find here. At home, there's probably a half a dozen places that have it in stock, good price. So anyway, the things I can't get here like that, I get and I have to bring back. So I brought what I needed with me. And I think Andrew Nelson would love the picture that Andrew, I need to send you the picture just so I can test your cardio when you see it. I'm welding in steel to fix some floor joists that these professional plumbers butchered. And since I can't go on the sides and I can't go top and bottom, I'm basically making an I-beam around a wooden floor joist and welding it together. Danny Boyd says, go to the dump or recycling place for angle iron. That's an awesome idea, except those places are gone here now too. Platinix was in business for 100 years, and I went there last week and it was gone. Literally, they cleaned the whole place out. Tony's Hot Rod Garage is here. Andrew has a header video in his queue, then you want to see that. Good stuff. Sherry Marie. Evening, all you fine cat people. Cat people? What? Catalytic converter people, maybe. My dog was too rowdy and had too good a time down here today. He's taking a nap up there. I have this house, and then I got the garage apartment up there, and that's where I stay working on this. And he's up there taking his nap. Six % recycled is here. Lunar says, I hear, Dean, sometimes status quo is better than a little bit of chaos. Well, this can be quite chaotic here at times, but not usually. It's been going pretty smooth lately. The worst is fixing work that I paid to have done right and was not. Danny Boyd says, nice to sleep close to where your tools are. Yes, I agree. So across the road over here, you just see stuff in this town you don't see other places. It's like everything is house rules and it's like when you watch Andy Griffith, it's like you're amazed how many of these weird little house rules they live by. There's a lot of that here for real. Like over here, I took a picture. I took a picture. I should pull it up because I think people wouldn't believe it. I'm trying to think who I sent it to. I know I sent it to just Mo Bar Joe. So that's where I'll find it. But I took a picture of the across the street the way these people park their cars. Yeah, maybe I can't find it. Anyway, they parked across the sidewalk. And it's this big steep hill. And nobody ever uses that sidewalk anyway. This is not like a healthy walking community by any means. If you see people walking around, they're people without driver's licenses and they're pilfering and they're looking for scrap and stuff sitting out to swipe. That's just what you see here. But it was funny because these cars were parked across the sidewalk, and Joe honestly asked, he says, well, how do the joggers get by? I said, Joe, in this town, joggers are people, wearing empty backpacks, looking, nobody's jogging for their health here. You can't leave stuff outside here, unfortunately. This is a nice neighborhood, one of the nicest left, and yet you can't leave anything out here. Yeah, Danny Boyd is saying 21st century workmanship. It's an amazing mix here because The old original work in this house is actually very good. The brickwork is great. Whoever did the brick for this. So in this town, this is an old railroad town, and used to have a lot of Italians here that did all the stone and the brick and concrete and masonry work. So there's like an old rock wall where the train station used to be that has been there since the 1880s, and it still looks great. It's just there. They did a good job, and a lot of the brownstone buildings here have been here since the 1880s and 90s. And anyway, it was some of those guys that did the brick on this house. And the brick is great. It really surprises me looking at it that you just don't see settlement cracks or anything in it. But it's the work that's been done, since this house was built that's sketchy. Tony's so sick of construction. Well, I want to do some construction on my cars. Buffalo Brian, are there bars on the window behind me? Well, it's just a wooden window. It's an old wooden window. And I have really wanted to keep the wooden windows, especially on the front of this house, because they do look real. It's a good looking house, actually. On the back, they were just completely rotted out from a bad roof on the back where there's an addition. And those, it would have just been too much carpentry to try to save them. So I measured them out exactly, and I put vinyl windows in. But I actually ordered vinyl windows that had the very same weird dividers. They're custom, so that from any distance, they look like what was there. But when you get up close, you can clearly see their vinyl. Kim fixes things, says hello all. Kim, crack the whip. What is Buff? About 42 subs? 24 pane windows worth money? I don't know. It's got one. It's actually got a real. That one's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one's 24 pane. 24 pane right there. One big piece, a big picture window. In fact, that window came out of a house over on Hemlock Hill, which is 2 streets over. My grandfather pulled it out of his sister's house because her husband bought a pool table, a 9-foot slate Brunswick pool table out of a pool hall in Marion. And when they hauled it in on a truck, he had to pull the window out of the downstairs to get the pool table in the house. So when the window came out, Grandpa was like, oh no, I know where that's going. He brought it over here, and that's that window right there when he built that addition on the house. There's a lot of stuff like that here. And I've managed to keep all of that I can. It's got a neat story and looks good. Buck doesn't start to get his 455 together. We're doing a cage in my Nova this weekend. Oh man, Andrew Nelson, I want to talk to you about doing a cage. I know we've been talking about it, but I want to talk with you about that because I got a cage that needs doing. Buff's making good progress. Yeah, I like Buff's stuff. Bad Tree Blake is in the house, as is JB's Little Shop and Dust Devil Garage. Look at that. You all came in as a group. Were you hanging out in the parking lot and wanted to walk in together? Danny Boyd says, I'd love to have a pool table. I'd love to have that pool table. And I'm the kind of guy that will go after stuff like that. So, I know who owns that house now. It's obviously not Grandpa's sister. I don't know, she'd be 100 and I don't know how old now. But I need to ask her, because if it's still there, and as big and heavy as it is, there's a good chance it's still there. If it's still over there and she wants to sell it, I will do that work one time. I will go over there and I will take that thing apart meticulously, and I will put it in this room right in front of me, because this room is actually big enough for a pool table. I can see it. I can just see it. Pool table with recessed lights, and it'll look awesome. Bad Tree Production says this is a stick up. A stick up what? Bump Stick Tree Productions or Boomstick. Your shotgun. Indirect Connection. How's it going, Jason? Glad you're here. Yeah, no real agenda tonight. This has just been crazy busy last few weeks. I got about a month on my. I got a project time. I'm trying to get some stuff done in here. Obviously, I want to have plenty of time before the No Name Nationals to get last minute stuff together. But although we're doing good on that, got 68 days, 3 hours, 44 minutes. And I was working on my deliverables list last night. So, yeah, so you all came together. Right. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Blake's got the getaway driver, point man, everything. Although, you got a better chance of getting away with it if you're the getaway driver, Blake. Jason says he's swell. Sounds great. Danny Boy glued my headlight tabs back on. Mr. 10,000 Buffs Garage in the house. How's it going, man? Glad you're here. Appreciate that, bud. So, Blake, so Buff, how are you two coming on your projects that you're bringing to Sykeston? How's that working? Everybody's got their own race on the car, so or whatever they're working with. Uh-oh, JB's got a surprise coming this evening. Video up later. All right. Buffalo Brian likes how precise I am. Hey, man, somebody's got to keep up with it. 68 days, 3 hours, 42 and a half minutes. It is what it is, right? Batteries is dumpster fire. Awesome. Yeah, Buff is killing it. Buff is hoping to pull together 2 cars that'll run and drive. Cool. Who knows which 2? Okay. Yeah. You know, one thing I've noticed and we all do that. Those that get the most done do this. Sometimes set a goal that may be biting off more than you can chew, but you go for it anyway. Because here's the thing: when you set a goal up here and you only get half of it done, guess what? You still got this much done, and that's this much more than a lot of people, than all the people. Well, I'll try next year. It's that much more than all of them. So I never mind, setting a goal and necessarily missing it as long as I made honest progress toward it and really do make it and really do get there. And to me, if your goal is 10 and you actually make 6, that's 6 more than everybody who said, nah, I can't do it and I won't try. Buff says, I do own a foreign car. My first car was a foreign car, sort of. My 70 Dodge Dart was made in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, across the river. Bad Tree's doing a car show tomorrow. Wrench on the Death Pumpkin, hit the track. Blake, are you going to be wearing your white New Balance and your mesh hat with the make of the car on it? I can see you doing that. You and Jabo and Jeremy, you could wear your car show attire and you could go in and mingle and ask everybody, where's the concourse area and all that stuff. Buff, whatever you bring will be cool and fun. Just bring yourself and the rest just works itself out. Yeah, that's one thing I can always say about No Name Nationals is it's never been about what cars are showing up. It's always been about you guys showing up, because if you guys show up, you bring cool stuff. And that just takes care of itself. Blake says, I hate car shows, doing it because Terry Legend's putting it on. Yeah, car show sounds very Blake-like, but I'm glad you're going. Yeah, you probably have a good time, man. Yeah, I'm not. Everybody knows I'm not a car show guy either. Blake and I probably are on the same page, all the same stuff that gets on our nerves. But I did take the old man's Jeep to a Jeep-only show in Dublin in April. And that is the only car show I've ever entered in my life. Well, no, I take that back because I wasn't entered at the Carlisle because my van for that weekend identified as a 62 Valiant. And so it was on the show field at Carlisle. But that would be only the second time I've ever had a car show entry in my life. And it was okay. Car show people are car show people. And that's awesome. I'm just not a car show person. Yeah, Don says Carlisle. Yes, correct. Dan says, I don't mind a car show. Yeah, generally, but I've watched car shows change so much. Like the Roanoke Valley Mopar Club. I will go to their show. I've been to their show a few times, and over the years, I've watched it change. Like I remember when I was a kid, what you saw were all these nice, the typical cars, 69 Roadrunner, the Charger, the nice 340A bodies, which is great. All that's great. I love those cars. But now it's exactly the same cars. It's just that's 10% of the show. And the other 90 are all these just late model Chargers and Challengers with all these goofy accessories plastered all of them. And giant wheels and speakers and all this stuff, but they'll have a row of them and the hoods will all be up and you can look under the hood and it's all just black plastic that looks exactly the same. So where car shows used to show off interesting engines, the new crowd couldn't care less. They do nothing under the hood. It's just a big black piece of plastic. Can't tell what's under. Whole row of them, hood up, that's what you see. It's just different. The car crafting has changed. If we saw the same kind of car crafting going on with the late model cars, I would be much more into seeing what they're doing. Even if it was LS stuff, even if it was turbos and all that, it would still be more philosophically aligned with what I'm interested in. But it's not. It's just weirdness. So. Buffalo Brian, what's up with the little blue wrenches after people's names? I'm missing something here. Yeah, when you climb Mount Everest, you're supposed to get a blue wrench that signifies you survived the climb to the top. And so everybody here that's got one after their name, they were sent one by the people who run the Mount Everest Association and put their name up. Unfinished project, trying to get a chicken dinner done. Hasn't happened yet. LX guys in the corner shelf, the purple LEDs, right? And that's what 90% of that car shows turned into. Yes, Danny Boyd says blue wrench equals chat moderator, which is correct. I just had to have some fun with that, Buffalo Brian. I have a few moderators that are my OG moderators here, like Blake and Unfinished Project. And, this chat runs really good, but, occasionally the biggest thing the mods here need to do is occasionally they'll put up links and things like that. But sometimes it gets to moving. Like if I got guests on here and then I'll have 100 people in here, it get a little crazy. Too much temptation from trolls. Buff has blue LEDs, not purple. Get it right. Kim says I climbed Everest and all I got was this lousy wrench. If I climb Everest, it'll be in a plane. I can tell you that. Yeah, like that. Unfinished project. Just put up the link to Buffalo Brian. Buffalo Brian, you should put some demo derby content on your channel. You should do that. If you want, I'm glad to help you. Technician Troy is here. Technician Troy, you're in the home stretch. You're gathering the last of the subs you need, and going to be bringing a pretty quick Sonoma No Name Nationals. Looking forward to that. Blue wrench equals power. Blue wrench doesn't equal power. I have a mod wrench on 18 channels, and do you know how many people have no idea how badly I'd love to just go to 18 channels, just boom, 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 but I don't. Troy says, I'm excited. I'm excited to meet you. Every year, we just keep getting out and keep finding cool new people out in this community that come and join us, and it's great. It's fun. 6% subscribe to Buffalo Brian. Let's talk Buffalo Brian into putting some demo derby content on his channel. That's what he does. Yeah, Ron English is here. So Buffalo Brian is Ron English and Don English's brother. Ron and Don are twins. Buffalo Brian's like, whoa, we'll just let those two separate myself from that mini pack. They're all great guys, though. Have the best time with him at Carlisle. And we'll see all three of them in Sykeston. How cool is that? Blue wrench equals middle management. There's no middle management in my life, man. None. Well, no, for me, I make the calls and I sweep the floors too. John seems to know us. Yeah, I like you guys. We have a lot of fun. I see them at Carlisle. I'll come back from fairgrounds. They'll be out in the parking lot. They practically set up a camp grilling outside where we'd stay. But this year, they and I were all putting our efforts into No Name Nationals this year. With just the house was just the thing that's just that one thing too much. So hopefully next year I can get back to Carlisle and No Name Nationals and everything will have its, because there are two things that have to happen. There's no negotiation. They must happen. I must get this house done, and I must make the No Name Nationals sing. And I will do both. Did it come at the expense of getting my Roach Runner done when I wanted to? Yes, it did. Did it come at the expense of doing a lot of other things I wanted to do? Yes, it did. But I'm going to deliver on the two most important things. And once this house is done, it'll free me up to do some other stuff. Appreciate that, Troy. But I love it. If I didn't, I wouldn't do it. Blue Wrench's YouTube Illuminati. Sometimes I like to mess with people like that. Like these people that get all weird about the top of the $1 bill. It would be fun to put that seeing eye like behind me where the orange paper is. He'd freak out forever over that. Daddy boys, this will pay off when it's done. Right now, I just feel like surviving it. I need to get this done, and if I put a percentage on it, I could honestly say it's probably 80, 85. It just doesn't look like it because when that last spell where stuff is like, look at this corner, like everything is a mess right now. But you think back about it, there's a lot done here. But then I have some smaller house projects, but they're smaller. They're not as demanding. They're not as, looming over me. Those are ones where I can go nibble at them, get them done. I have another house that's 2 blocks that way that it needs some stuff, but it's nothing like this place. All right, Mopar people, that thumbnail looks suspicious. Yeah. Danny Boyd says 5 years into mine, but not working fast at all. Well, it's slow going here, but it's going. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to be welding in steel, fixing floor joists with steel. Maybe I should put up a community tab picture fixing floor joists with steel so I can have a whole bunch of guys come in and tell me how I didn't do it right. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Buffalo Brian used to have a group of 4 guys doing demo derbies. Family time kind of split them up. I get it, man. I'll tell you what, though, just doing little shorts and stuff when you're at the derbies, people find that cool and fun. And Brian, check out the video I did. A friend of mine ran his first derby. Corey Hubbard, he ran a derby, and I put up video last year on my channel of them building the car, taking it to the derby, and all of that. That video seems to do well, too. Auto Salvage Outlaws say they need me to come up paint the inside. We haven't painted yet, but we're getting close. We'll probably be okay on paint. That room is ready to paint. This room is close. This room still needs some boards put up. And they got their system. So actually, boards up in there. You know, I didn't even think about it. Once this is done in here, there's only going to be one more room that needs to have any boards put in it. And that will be that room. This room is way too long to have strands of 2x8 going across. So I'm eventually going to put a beam. I wish I could spin this around without messing up my setup here, but I'm going to eventually put a beam in right there. And that'll help it a lot. Junkyard D's here saying, all right, groceries got peaches. Max Wedge, Dick Dastardly's here. Ed's Machine, Fox Can Fix It. Glad all y'all could come in. Big Mike of the Hoopty Barn is here. Glad y'all could make it. I'm going to do some giveaways. I'm going to do a giveaway. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away a No Name National shirt. Your choice, gray or black. Tell me gray or black and what size if you win. Now, if Unfinished Project was listening to this from across the room, he's probably right now jumping over rings of fire to get to his phone because you know how he likes to win. J-Bo wants to know where I am. J-Bo, this is one of my houses. This one's in Bluefield, and I'm up here fixing floor joists, and I'm going to be doing that, and time permitting, I've got Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to be rebuilding the headers in that carport. And you know, one thing I need to do for you guys, I think it'd be fun. I'm going to wait till probably I get a little bit more done here just to make a full video. I'll probably do a video of some of the stuff in here. I think you guys might find it interesting. I want to give away a shirt. All right, Dizzy Izzy. Check this out. Dizzy Izzy. I need something from you. Dizzy, do you have either? I think you have my email. I know I've emailed you. I don't know if I've ever called your text you or not, but Dizzy, I want you to send me a number between 1 and 100. Dizzy, you pick the number between 1 and 100. Mater's Workshop, there is a moped class, and don't post the number here, Dizzy. Send me a number between 1 and 100. Yeah, so the moped class is called Monkey Bike, and if you go to nonamenationals.com, there's a rules for it's a spec class. Dizzy, you can't post a number. That's why it doesn't work. All right, we're going to do this. Disregard those numbers. Big Mike of the Hoopty Barn, are you in the house? That's all right. That's all right, Dizzy. Because you know what? Whoever picks the number can't win this. So Dizzy, this gives you a chance to win. Big Mike, I want you to text me a number between 1 and 100. I saw Big Mike. That's why I just picked him. There you go. Yeah, Big Mike. Pick a number between 1 and 100. Text it to me, and we're going to do a giveaway. Get ready, Unfinished Project. You know how you got to win. Look at all this. Look at all this. Oh, man. Joe says, I just had my hot dogs and ketchup for supper. The kids looked at because John Cope loves his hot dogs with ketchup. Hey, guys, that's how they do it in Chicago. They take a hot dog and they put ketchup on it. All right. All right. So from now on, from 8:37 on, whoever the first person is to give me this number from 8:30, again, wait, it's not yet. It's not time yet. When I say now, whoever the first person is to give me the number Mike text will win a shirt. Okay, opens now. Opens now. First person to send me this number. And close doesn't count. Because you guys are going to be spraying numbers on full auto. So the first person I see post this number wins it. Oh my goodness, the guesses are flying in. All right. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I had to scroll for it. Well, guess what? The first person that had it is Auto Salvage Outlaws. All right. He was the first and the only. Kim, you know what? My favorite number is 11, and I remember 11 team from Beavis and Butthead. You get style points for that. But Auto Salvage Outlaws hit it at 76. So, Millard, let me know gray or black and which size you want. Shoot it over to me in an email so I don't forget. You win a shirt. Man, look at the guesses. Yep, the number was 76. And Auto Salvage Outlaws got it. Man, he was fast. He was fast. 76 is a great year. I agree, because at 76, the world didn't have me yet. It was like the last year they didn't have me. Yeah, Buff, I think you're 76. Dallas is 76. Well, that was fun. It was fun. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. All right. Let's see here. Shop 209 is listening while driving. Cool, man. Kim, yes, you got a little bit on me. Professor P has got 2 years on me. Dallas got 1. Kim fixes things. All right. You're it. Pick a number and text it to me. Don't post it in the chat. And then at the top of the hour, we're going to do it again to wear another shirt. Fun fact, unfinished project says that 76 divided by 13 equals 5.846153846153846. I can't tell you how many times I've wondered that. So I don't know what numbers I got from you guys, but Kim, if you're watching, send me. Kim, send me over a number and top of the hour, between 1 and 100, top of the hour, we're going to do it again. Max Wedge Dick Dastardly. All right. All right, cool. Bus Garage is 11:07. I like that. Yeah, I wanted two different people to pick the numbers. That way, nobody got exempted tonight. I want to do more of this. As we approach No Name Nationals, I want to do more of this. I think it's fun. Unfinished project, put up the link to Shop 209. Kim fixes things. Yeah, I'm just glad we got daylight like this. Yeah, Street Fox, I didn't get to make it to Gear Jammers either. I was just asking if you were going. If you were going, I was thinking about trying. Oh, this year is just not my year for extracurricular stuff, but I can't tell you how relieved I will be to have this done here. Ron said the screen got really busy. Yes, it did. It was flying. I had to go back up and scroll down. You know, I'd look at the analytics on the comments. It's funny because when I go, because normally this chat, my live usually it's between 700 and 1,000 chat comments per hour. Depending on the guest, I can have as many as 1,500. Twisted Mopar Garage, what's happening? I guarantee you when I'm looking at it, I'll know when that giveaway was because the comments will go, boom. All right. Rob's Rods and Street Cars, how's it going, man? Glad you're here. Ron says I'm great at mind on task projects. I don't know about that, but I know one thing. I believe in getting results. You know, there are different ways. Like, for example, people that do music, people who do film, people who do art, it's all about what people say about your work. But when it comes to doing things like rebuilding the headers in the carport, where you have to weigh the snow, where it comes to putting a roof on a house, where it comes to that kind of stuff, electrical work, it's all about the results that are completely objective. So it's two different things. And when you're doing a results-driven project, it's just different. And you got to work on that task the way it is. Shop 209, the call out, people haven't been calling out as much this year. I think you should. I think you should throw down on something. We've got some good call outs this year. People haven't been as much. They still will. They're still going to race each other in Sykeston. Colleen, yes. Listen, I sent a huge, heavy box to our race director, Barkley, today. We've got some good stuff going on, some good stuff in the pipe. I'm going to try to get on the I's dotted, T's crossed. I've got some cool surprises I'm working on too. And I'm just trying to get my deliverables and my last budget items squared away because I don't want to spend money I don't have. But you'll see what's going on here real soon. And my goal was to get these, to make some good size announcements to you guys with 60 days out. And I am right on track to do that. So it's 68 days, 3 hours, 14 and a half minutes, and I'm on course to do so. Yeah, Shop 209, you know how to throw down. Come to Sykes and show somebody what time it is. I know you can do it. So Colleen, the difference is last year, Jeffers Motorsports Park was AHRA sanctioned. And as you know, Larry Jeffers famously bought the IHRA. And as such, the IHRA already had infrastructure and staff in place to run and manage stuff, including Jeffers. But Barkley, he will still be the race director for the No Name Nationals, filling in for Dallas as a race director. So Barkley will have reign to do a lot of things he did last year, and he'll manage the program. We still want Barkley to do that. He's good at what he does. He did a good job. We want him to do a good job again. So that's what we're doing. But this will be the only event all year that you'll get Barkley. So if you're a regular at Jeffers, like some of you guys are, this will be a different type of event. Barkley's a good dude. I talked to Barkley, and his wife was riding with him today. We talked on the phone a little bit, and she loved the burnout competition last year. Absolutely loved it. So that's the most fun she's ever had there. She can't wait to do that again, so they'll be there. Technician Troy says, my truck is decently slow, so call-outs are pointless to me. He's baiting you guys. Streetcar Chronicles in the house. Well, what's going on, Ryan? Did you have a rain delay? Glad you're here, ma'am. There are plenty of slow cars there. There's all kinds of slow cars. Sorry about that. My internet blinked. I did something dumb. I'm used to being able to unplug my phone during a live, and I forgot I'm running off of it here. It's hard lined in, so when I unplugged my phone, it made my picture blank. There's Shop 209. Whoa. Not used to having my light there. Anyway, there you go. 209, making it happen. Doing some grilled chicken, hitting the shop for a bit. Sounds good to me. Justin Hill, if anybody wants to send him channel stickers, he's taking them. Buffalo Brian says, who in this chat group knows about motors that run on nitromethane? Some of the Derby, wait a minute, I gotta go back and grab that comment. That was too good to miss. Some of the Derby guys are running those kind of motors now. They seem to never quit no matter what. Nitromethane? Well, I know in this community that Nate from Blue Collar Performance has nitromethane experience. He would be the guy to ask. Nate from Blue Collar Performance. Not saying there's not others. I just know that he does. Oh, wow. So here's a picture too of Shop 209. That nose was putting daylight under the front tires. I didn't realize that thing could pull the wheels. Sweet. Most of the old parts and Russ Patrick is here. Welcome, man. Patrick, we're giving the shirt away, top of the hour. Dean Stevenson's gastronomical. I like Dean Stevenson's comments. They make you think. I've heard of nitromethane used like you would use nitrous on diesels. Man, I have no idea. That is so far outside of my knowledge. It's crazy. You know what that is? A motorcycle going down the hill. Yes, Kim, I did. Top of the hour. I can't believe Auto Salvage Outlaw swooped in there before unfinished project. He's got the golden horseshoe of giveaways, I think. Not nitromethane, just meth. Okay, okay. That makes a lot more sense, Danny boy. He's talking about methane. Is he talking about methane, the gas, or methanol fuel? You know what? I bet you that's what. I bet you he meant methanol fuel. Well, in that case, there's lots of guys here that do that. Andrew Nelson is one of them. Thumper knows a lot about running ethanol. You know what? You're right. I bet you anything that's what he's talking about, because some guys will run that without a cooling system. So Buffalo Brian, if you're listening, I think I figured out what you were asking. You're talking about methanol. Yeah. These guys don't really let you look underneath it. Right. Right. You're talking about methanol, aren't you? Yeah, Twisted Mopar. That's right. He runs methanol. Lots of guys here run that. Hey, Ryan, you want me to show that picture? I'll show unless you want me to. Okay. I'm not saying that Streetcar Chronicles Ryan is fast, but he just tripped the 60. It looks like on the back tires. You can see daylight under the front tires at the 60 in that picture. I don't know if you can see it here, but yeah. Wow. Wow. So should I even ask Ryan, do you have it sorted? Because I remember, I think you took it to the track and it was running like in the sevens or something. I'm like, that car's not right yet. Yeah, all right. Yes, sir. We're on par. All right. Ryan, are you bringing it to No Name Nationals 2023? Going to be redemption for the popcorn machine of 2022? Plus, have a little something I'll be talking about this week. All right. I got to tell you, I like what Ryan brings to things. I like his sense of humor and his sense of style. It's good stuff. Yeah, Ryan. Come on, man. I got to tell you, of all of the videos that dropped announcing for the No Name Nationals last year, I shouldn't pick, as a promoter, I shouldn't pick. I loved Ryan's video. That video was so freaking cool. Him creeping through that neighborhood in black and white. That was wild. How's the weather at Sykes in September? It is fantastic. Fantastic. Cools off enough at night that you can sleep. It's nice, warm during the day, but it's not blistering hot. It's very nice. I think the weather's perfect. You'll like it. And also, statistically, September, especially as you go into September, has the least chance of rain. Rain percentage for that weekend is less than 7% statistically. Buffalo Brian, send me a link. Yeah, Buffalo Brian, you talking about like a link to Dennis's channel? Sure, I can do that. Be sure to wear some sunblock. Yes, the sun. I got blistered last year, but I was out in it for a week. But yes, wear some sunblock. It can sneak up on you. Oh yeah, Unfinished Project can do that. I think he Twisted Mopar Garage because he's wanting to run methanol. But I'll tell you, Buffalo Brian, I did a live stream last year with Thumper, the sweaty fat guy. That's his channel name. And Thumper knows a lot about ethanol fuel. There's, the difference between ethanol and methanol. But Thumper knows a lot about that. He knows a lot. He runs ethanol. He actually makes it himself. He has a permit from the ATF, and he makes his own ethanol for fuel. So he literally makes vodka to run his cars on. So he will be a good one to watch too. That live is worth watching if you're thinking about it. Shop 209 will be there on Saturday. Yeah, man, we'll have a lot of fun. Yeah, Buffalo Brian, I'll send you some links, or just Unfinished Project Scott. He's got Thumper's link, and the Nelsons run ethanol. They run, I think, methanol too, or ethanol or E85. That's what they run. The Nelsons run E85, and they know a lot about fuel too. Andrew Nelson says we 60 foot on the back tires a bunch. Yep. But you know from your data enough to tell when it's doing it. Yeah, because it's a 0.12 exactly. Yeah, my buddy Robert would do that a lot. He'd get a 60 foot on the back tires. Buffalo Brian, I'll tell you, watch that live with Thumper on my channel. I think it was last year. And the thumbnail for it is a molecule, an ethanol molecule. And Thumper, you'll see him. And he really gets into the science of alcohol-based fuel. There you go. Unfinished Project put up the link for Nivlac 57, which is the Nelsons. We call them the Nelsons, or at least I do, because they're the family. That's how I think of them. But the channel is Nivlac 57. But I think of them as the Nelson family because they truly do have the whole family on the channel. It's a family effort, and it's great. I like what they do and how they do it. Great people. And I'm not just saying that because he's in here. You know that. Yeah, Buffalo Brian. It is really cool stuff. I mean, it's just fascinating. I'd love to have Thumper on again. I talked to him today. Oh, cool. There's the live itself. Okay, so Unfinished Project put that up. So if you're watching this on a desktop, just open that in a new tab and save it. And watch it just at your leisure. Buff says the Nelsons are legit. Yes, they are. And Andrew, that reminds me, there's something I want to talk with you about. I think you'll find interesting. Let's catch up tomorrow or whenever it's convenient for you. Kind of tied up here for a little bit, but we'll catch up. After this live is fine, or sometime tomorrow, wherever works for you. Because I got something I think you'll like. I want to talk with you about. All right, let's go get to the top of the hour. So this is just going to be for whoever's watching it. Nelsons are great folks, indeed. Indeed. I like people who off YouTube are people of good character. They obviously on YouTube as well, but I like legit people of good character on and off YouTube who are the real deal, and I would certainly consider them to be in that. As would I, you guys in here are those kind of people. That's just the kind of people that I like to be surrounded by. Back in the shop tomorrow. Okay, cool. And Troy's subscriptions might fill up. All right, well, it's top of the hour. So what we're going to do is we're going to give away another shirt. Your choice of gray or black. AHRA No Name National shirts. Your choice. And it's going to be whomever, and when it's going to have to be after I say go. Okay, it's got to be after I say that, because it otherwise people will just start throwing crazy stuff out. But when I say go, whoever can is the first person to guess the number that Kim sent me is going to win a shirt. Ready? All right, go. And obviously everybody but Kim is eligible. Oh, wait a minute. I got to check and make sure who was first. Gosh, those numbers came flying in. Okay, I got to make sure who was first. And I'm glad I did this, because I thought it was Buff, but it was not. The first was Junkyard D. The number is 99. Congratulations, Junkyard D. He beat Buff by literally just, I don't know what, 6, 7 comments, whatever it is. Junkyard D, you got it. 99. Direct connection said 500. All right, Junkyard D, if you don't mind, man, send me an email with black or gray and what size. And I'll get that out to you as soon as I reasonably can. Wow, look at the guesses. My goodness, they're still flying in. It was quick. I mean, yeah, Buff. That's why I have to say who gets it first, because, yeah, see, Max Wedge, Dick Dasher. See, he gets 99, but he's a little late. And I suspect it's because the screen will buffer. And sometimes if it lags behind a little bit on your end and you're not caught up live, you don't realize you're not live. I think you're 30 seconds off, sometimes a minute. All right. Well, that was cool. That was fun. I'm going to try to do this much more often as we, unfinished project 99. There you go. Your unfinished project, your 99 will count if you find a DeLorean with the right equipment. That was fun. Junkyard D, make sure to shoot me over that email. Max Wedge, Dick Dasherly had a crazy neighbor that sat on his porch and yelled 99 for hours. Wow. Which reminds me of a joke. This guy was looking at this fenced-in area, and he would hear people, on the other side of the fence yelling, 13, 13, 13. And he saw a hole in the fence. So he goes and looks through the hole in the fence and got poked in the eye. And then he heard all the people yelling, 14, 14, 14. Yeah, Buffalo Brown, what I'll do is, if you don't mind, send me an email, just so when I do my emails after this, I'll try to send you some channel links to the guys in the community who have experience running alcohol-based fuels that I know of. I mean, there are probably others, plenty of others. But I know Twisted Dennis does. I know Thumper does. I know the Nelsons do. Oh, and Redbeard, you run E85, don't you? See, yeah, it's just that I'm thinking some of these will slip off the desk in my mind sometimes. Yeah, Redbeard runs E85, I believe. Don't you, or methanol in Venom. Dean Stevenson with another esoteric comment that will take me a minute, talking about 85 Speedo Jimmy Carter instituted. Help me out here, Andrew Nelson. Who was it that did the 55-mile-an-hour national speed limit? It technically still existed at the federal level when I got a driver's license. But I think that the states were changing their own speed limits before that. Wasn't Carter, though. It was before him. Yeah, Redbeard runs alcohol. You're running E85 in that? Vodka-powered demon? Sammy Hagar can't drive 55? Buff says, makes sense someone named Ford would want to stay under 55. That might be the comment of the night, Buff. I like that. Jimmy Carter was a turkey. Jimmy Carter was president when I was born. Jimmy Carter's pushing 100. I think he'll be 100 next year. Irish Outlaw Garage is here. What's going on? Uh-oh. Auto Salvage Outlaws is saying if it had been Ford, it would have been 125. Yeah, Thelma and Louise's Ford, maybe. Unfinished project. Put up the link to Irish Outlaw Garage. If you haven't, go check out Jay's channel. He survived pancreatic cancer for 5 years. Yeah, Jimmy Carter's got amazing longevity. Named after the best carb ever. Okay, maybe in your universe. Irish Outlaw lives the lifestyle. He just took Artemis on a parch run for the Buick. Here we go. Jay, a.k.a. the guy with the ambulance. I got to say, whenever people mention the cars that were there, the ambulance always comes up. Became a mascot of sorts for the No Name Nationals inaugural running. I have a Carter carburetor on the van. Works great. Just that ambulance too. Right. Who blocked me? Buff. Someone blocked you? Did you get timed out? It wasn't me. That's funny. Dizzy said hit 130 in a 66 Tempest and the front end started lifting. I had to shut it down. I tell you what, these late model Mustangs, they get light in the front end once you get up there in speed. I do not like the handling on them over about 105 or 10. Buff has a wrench, so it's not possible. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But again, I watch the comments on StreamYard, so I don't see it. He's now known as 10K Buff. 10K Buff sounds like a rap name. I'd rather be 24K Buff. There you go. Street Fox, you're like 13,000 some subscribers yourself. We got some guys really surging. And when you look back at last year, how far these guys have made it in a year is amazing. Street Fox, Buff, Irish Outlaw, A lot of guys here that have really grown their channels in the last year. Technician Troy is thinking unfinished project for post his link. Unfinished project is really good like that. He's a good dude. Got behind and lag in Irish all. Yeah, it happens. Buff went from 0 to 2,500 in 9 months. Rolled in the gate at No Name at 2,500 subs. It's 10,000 now. Yep. Actually, you were at like 10,700 this morning, weren't you? Hey, Twisted Mopar Garage, you can absolutely make it happen. You definitely can make it happen. There's no question. I can help you. Irish Outlaw Garage is next. Irish Outlaw Garage is there. He just, you know. I mean, you know, you're here, man. You're part of this community, and we're all just enjoying it. Punisher Le Mans says, can't wait to see everyone there. Punisher Le Mans, crack the whip on your boys. We saw Dakota and Hunter battle it out to see who could cross the finish line first in the No Name 500. Those two can do it. They got some work to do. Yep, Buff's Garage, plug in Irish Outlaw. That's cool. Well, Buff and Brave, Punisher Le Mans, are you two going to be doing the Pontiac Power Hour live from Lambert's? Mr. Polo can. I gave Mr. Polo an idea like 6 months ago. I said, dude, all you got to do is do one short a day. Film them all at the same time, put them out once. You just schedule to drop daily each week and call it the Corvette Minute on these weird little things that are different about Corvettes. And boom, he did 500 like that. But here's the thing. If you don't make your 500, it's still, you know, you can say, oh, I can next year. I try to get people to not just say, well, maybe next year, well, maybe next year, well, maybe next year. But still, there is hopefully, well, maybe next year. Just know that, you know, every year from year to the next, of all the people we have in here, what are the odds we'll all be able? You know, nothing's, we're not promised tomorrow. There's a chance that not everybody in this chat will be alive next year. We don't know, right? I mean, those of us who are middle-aged or older, we know full well that not everyone we went to high school with is still alive, right? So when we think about that, we're like, you know, that mortality happens. So I wouldn't want to say, well, I said maybe next year when there's somebody I might have wanted to see there or somebody I might have wanted to meet and they made it 1 year. And that's why I'm thinking, you know, we want to try to make this year count. It's not about the money. It's not about enrollment numbers. Not about any of that. I just like for us to try to, you know, seize the day, make the most out of today, and meet as many of these YouTubers as we possibly can and meet them in person. And that's, to me, is why we want to try to not say next year. That's why I say that. Because I would much rather next year than never, but that's the reason why I try to politely encourage everybody to press for this year. Smoker Inch Garage. You are on the verge of 500. When are we going to do a 500 live for you? Tell me, Sean. You just tell me, when are we doing it? And we'll do it. How many subs does Smoke Wrench Sean have right now? Smoke Wrench Garage. You're at 485, Smoke Wrench? Are you really at 485? Could someone confirm that for me if you would? Unfinished Project says, y'all can take your time. I'm going to live forever. He will, but I'm going to get him to a No Name Nationals eventually. 485. You know what? 15 away. For you guys who you influential, awesome people out there, people like Buff, people like Ray, people like Irish, and so forth and so on, make a community post, Troy, ASO, make a community post just encouraging people to check out Smoke Wrench Sean's channel. And if you've not already subscribed, go check him out and see if he earned your subscription. He's legit. He just needs the subs. And he's so close. Put a feeler out for that. Let's see what we can do. Maybe now needs to be the time. I've been asking Sean. Sean, you want to jump in tonight? Let me know. Yeah, send a message out to your friends, you guys watching. If you don't mind, one of you guys post a link. I think Unfinished Project, there's a link. You should be able to copy and paste that. Send it to your buddies and just say, hey, if you haven't checked out Smoke Wrench Garage, he needs just 15 more subs to make it to the No Name Nationals. Check him out. If he earns your sub, subscribe. Maybe Sean will get his 500 right now. We'll be live for another 43 and a half minutes. Let's see what happens. Twisted Mopar, you're going to get it, man. You're close. And the second half of the subs come faster than the first half. The only thing that'll stop you is giving up, but you'll get it. Danny Boyd is asking what 18,500 pesos equal to in dollars. I know Mexican Spec is in here, and he probably can do that. His head really close. Smoke Wrench, if you want to jump on, let me know. I think tonight we could get it. You're 15 away. I don't think that would be too hard. I'm wearing my hazardous label shipping shirt. I didn't even think about it. I wear this in the post office. The woman that works the window just loves this because she sees this on packages. And it's because packages of ammunition have this on them. Mexican Spec says $1,088 US. Wow, Mexican Specs will do a paint job for $1,000. Wow. Buffalo Brian says he'll sub to Smoke Wrench. What's the channel? There's a link in the chat. So I might need to do it on here. So let me think. Actually, I think I can do it without any pickup. I don't have my speakers on. Let me try to do that. I'm going to pin it. I'm going to pin Smoke Wrench's Unfinished Project. If you would, put up the link. I'm going to make sure to cut my sound off. I'm going to pin the link for Smoke Wrench Garage. Pretty sure I got my sound off. Make sure I don't. There we go. I just pinned the link for Smoke Wrench Garage. So check him out. He's 13 away. Send him to your friends. He's been hovering really close to 500 for like a month or more now. And who will that put in second? I believe Tadlock's Tool Shed. That puts him in second. 488. Yeah, 12 away. Right. I can't either, Max Wedge. I have one count, and I use it judiciously. Unfinished Projects got the link for Pure Pontiac Garage as well. Pure Pontiac Garage, I got a chuckle out of it. He thought in the beginning, man, I don't know if I get that 500, and he got over 500 like quick. He did some shorts that just took off, and he got it. It's like, wow, surprising. Auto Salvage Outlaw says 11 away for Smoke Wrench. Well, this wasn't intended to be a benefit live, but no reason it can't be. Busy Izzy says, might not be able to participate, but I'll be there to get in. Busy, why wouldn't you be able to participate? Buffalo Brian subscribed. Nothing ever goes back down. Price-wise, not really. No, it doesn't. I mean, gas does peaks and valleys, but most everything else just keeps going up. I've got to buy 7 2x12s tomorrow. My wallet's already bleeding. I mean, it was $169 for some angled steel today. The cost of materials is insane right now. Red Beard is saying 69 days. No, it's 68 days, 2 hours, and 38.5 minutes. Smoke Wrench, hope you make your 500 tonight. Buffalo Brian said he sure can. What, 489? Mexican Specs says gas never goes down here. It goes up twice a month like clockwork. That's because gas was already so much cheaper there. But yeah, it's that's the way it is. I mean, eventually what's going to happen is we're going to run out of other people's money. That's pretty much the way that's going here. Brent Pierce is not helping. Hey, I live on the same clock you guys do. I don't get in. I've got to be there on the ground on Tuesday. The No Name Nationals is just about a week for me. The event itself, not counting all the planning. So, oh goodness, Dizzy said we'll be in a wheelchair sometime, hopefully later. Well, I understand. Well, we're going to work through our difficulties like that. That's a tough one. So, Dizzy, if you're there in a wheelchair and you want to hang out in a wheelchair and watch, we'll give you the best seat in the house. Yep, Punisher Lamont shared Smoke Wrench on my channel. He's a supporter of Pontiac Power Hour. Right on. I'm a supporter of Pontiac Power Hour. They have a great show. I know you guys are on hiatus. Do you have a plan to come back at a certain date and time set or anything like that, Buff? Ray, either one of y'all want to weigh in on that? 38 POS Racing, that is one of the things I've got to figure out this week. So right now what I've been doing, in fact, it's laying right there. I was working on it earlier. I have my list, as Dallas calls them, deliverables. He's a Navy guy, so they call it deliverables. So I've borrowed that. But I've got to get all my budget line items and all the things that, require so many days out and stuff like that. And that is one of the things I'm working on. Logistics are a tad tougher to work out down there now, but we are, and that's a good thing. Buff says big storms. Yeah, he'll cut out for tonight. I understand, man. Be safe, Buff. Redbeard Racing, check this out. Dizzy says if everything goes as planned, I'll give you a ride in Venom if you're not able to drive. Mexican Spec says we're at 23 per liter. That's $5.26 per gallon. Yeah, and that's like a California gas price, yeah. Unfinished Project says 10 Saturdays until September 21st, 2023. There you go. If Saturdays are your work days, see, for me, See, for me, I have Saturday as a day I have to do work. It's like I don't have weekends off or have a schedule like that. So I might come down here Tuesday and Wednesday in the middle of the day and work, but then I might have work to do for my job on Saturday or Sunday. So to me, there's no weekend type of planning. But I know for a lot of you guys, Saturday might be your day off. And so it's good to know there's 10 Saturdays. Punisher Lamont says 491 for Smoke Ranch. There are 9 more subs out there who do not yet know that Smoke Ranch Sean has a great channel. We just need to get it in front of them. And one thing I've said before many times is that I want to make sure people know I don't give these guys, I give them my personal sub. And then the other 499 they have to forage for in the world. And that's why I even tell people, check out their channel. If they earn your sub, subscribe, because I like for every one of those guys to be able to say they earned it, and they did, and they do. So it's like there's no automatic windfall they get by registering. Registering doesn't buy any subs at all. A person could register and not make the content and not be a part of the community and not get subs from it. And that's okay. What's a day off? Never heard of such a thing, Mexican Spec says. Yeah, I hear that. I'm pushing now because I really want to try to get this project, wrapped up so that I have a good amount of time before the No Name Nationals to see. You do longer days, they kind of wear on you more mentally and physically. And I like being able to. Ron, there's a link posted. There's a link should be posted at the top, pinned, for Smoke Ranch Garage, top of the chat. If you work for yourself, there's no days off. Mexican Spec, I have worked for myself. I've worked in this business for 20 years, and I've been a principal broker, owner, operator for 14. And conversely, if you work for yourself, you can have all the days off you want. You just don't get paid. And you might not get paid later because you didn't work to get paid now. The older you get, the more it wears on you. Isn't that the truth? I was thinking of that loading lumber here, just how I used to just throw, 2 and 3 boards over my shoulder and take it in a stack. And I was annoyed by the amount of time it took me to load it, not by how heavy it was. It's just different now. Can't do what I used to do. Wow. Punisher Lamont said, my built 400 should be done this week. It's got TH400 transmission. Then I'm hammering on the car. Got to hit that 599 before No Name. Punisher Lamont, how about hitting your 599 at No Name Nationals? You certainly can do it there. Max Wage Dick Dasher, this is 110 octane racing fuel is $20 a gallon. $100 for 5 gallons. Yeah. Yeah, Finished Project is waiting for the 500th sub. I'm sure he is. Yeah, if you guys don't mind, just share that out, and let's see if we can get Smoke Ranch Sean to 500. And Sean, if you're watching, you're welcome to come on. If nothing else, just come on and say hi. Dakota says no race gas for me. I understand. I have a picture. I hope I brought it with me, because there's a gas station that's a couple miles down the road here. And I took a picture, and I don't know why I would have. I would have been 10 years old, but I took a picture and got the price of gas in there and everything. And I want to take that picture from the same angle. Now, the gas in the picture was 87 cents a gallon, by the way. Punisher Lamont runs E85 to get away from the race gas price. Yes, I totally understand that. But understand, you know what actually is the cheapest on fuel? Your car that has 110 octane race gas. Because that car, how many miles a year do you drive it? You can get the worst gas mileage ever, but how many miles do you drive it? I guarantee you, I spend a whole lot more for fuel on the CRV than whatever space shuttle you're putting 110 in. Technician Troy is debating on switching to Sonoma to E85, right? Right. E85 really did change a lot of stuff. It sure changed a lot of stuff. E85 at the pump is a big deal. Any of these gas stations that have these Tesla charging places and don't have E85, I'm like, man, just take all that stuff out, throw it away, and put an E85 pump in there. Joe only runs 93 octane from the pump. Nothing wrong with that. I went with Andy Wood. He has a certain gas station, his regular place, where he went and got his 93 octane in his can, and we poured it in the back of the dyno seal, and that's what he made his 708 horsepower run on, was 93 octane in his mixed up boss. Max Wedge says 98 cents a gallon in 2001, Augusta, Georgia. Yeah, and by what, 2000, was it 6 or 7? That would have been 7 or 8. It got crazy high. When was it got to $5 a gallon the first time before this last craziness? Twisted Mopar says not many race cars need 110. Well, that's true. That is true. Ron English is big field this year for No Name. Yeah, registrations are solid. But we still have a lot of stragglers. I mean, we should have more registrations this year than last, but that's because of so many people who I know are going to register. They just haven't yet because they know they have so many days. But I will tell you this. The earlier people register who know you're going to be there, the more that gives me to project in the way of the budget because, this is year 2, so I don't really have enough data to know or be able to anticipate. So I can only conjecture. Punisher Lamont says all my videos are Mexico. Wouldn't doubt it. Shop 209, I need to register. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm thrilled to see all of you guys. I just, helps me plan. Dakota's timeout. If you talk about having a dyno there, ever come to a decision? So the deal with a dyno, there's a couple of different options, and yes, I like that idea a lot. What I really think needs to be there, though, we had somebody talking about a hub dyno. We know somebody has a chassis dyno that's an hour away. What I'd like to have there, if we can work it out, would be a mobile chassis dyno. That's what I think would be good to have there. Yeah, I'd love a dyno. I would too. If any of you guys know somebody has a mobile chassis dyno that they bring in on a truck, I'd like to talk to them. Yeah, listen, like I've said, if you guys know somebody who has a mobile chassis dyno, let me know. There's all kinds of ideas that get thrown around for this event, and I think that is a good idea. Joe actually has a wonderful point here. There's that mounted chassis dyno called a racetrack. We actually do have a fantastic dyno there. It's 660 feet long and it's well prepped and ready for you. But Joe, as you know, people want to see numbers. Well, almost everybody wants to see numbers. Dakota says, I want to see my car put down 1,000 to the ground. Yeah, put it down on the ground in front of the tower on the track. It'll hop Coke cans. Yeah, 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 yeah. Where's old Dave Marshall? Is it Dave Marshall? Is that the the Galaxy guy? That's great. Halfwits of those guys do power tour from Columbia. Yeah, talk to them. I know one thing, but I'll say this: there are some people that just have these just crazy stranglehold of an idea on stuff like that, and how much can I get out of these people? We can't do that. We've never done that with this event. Um, the concessions at Jeffers are very reasonably priced. The registrations are reasonably priced. We make everything as reasonably as we can. So, if there's somebody that wants to be very reasonable and come out with a chassis dyno and do something fun and equitable, we can do that. Yeah, Dakota. That was good. That was good. Dakota's he's good at it. He's good at his alter ego stuff. Max Wedge Dick Dastardly can scatter engines without a dyno. Yeah, you could win worst oil down. Danny Boyd says, I bet my Fox will put down 260 at the wheels or 300 at the flywheel. See, now people are talking about it. That's what they talk about. But I'll tell you the truth, I'm with Joe. I would rather see people go on the drag strip than on the dyno. I'll tell you what, I know people, there's a lot of people who wouldn't like this, but I'll say it anyway. If we did have a chassis dyno there, I would encourage people to make call outs based on that and see how many people will take their car to the track and to the dyno. I think it'll surprise people how many people wouldn't do it. Oh, and don't forget this too. There are people that have their stuff dynoed and their dyno numbers are bogus. And then when they get to the chassis, they're like, oh, I didn't know that ate up 300 horsepower. So there could be some of that too. Yeah, Technician Troy says I'd hit the dyno in the track. Yeah, but that's because you're a racer. Could see that. J-Bo says the drag strip is the dyno. Yes, and J-Bo's cars are not slow. Big Mike says, I'm proud of the way y'all work the NNN event. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Try to do it with integrity and with you guys in mind, and that's what matters. And when you're doing it and your head and your heart are in the right place, you're doing it for the right reasons, it's easy. Technician Troy would rather chase my personal best. Yeah, sure. Just have fun. Shop 209 says we don't race dynos. Right. So you got both schools of thought in the chat. I think it's great. You're right. We don't race dynos. You're exactly right. Some people only race dynos, like they only bench race at the parts store. Dakota, you're funny. By the way, July 10th with Ed Iskandarian. Speaking of three-quarter cam, Ed Iskandarian was 102 July 10th. He has a birthday party tomorrow, but it's out in California. What does a chassis dyno test cost roughly per car? Junkyard D, that's a wonderful question. And if any of you guys know someone with a chassis dyno, I'd like to talk with him and answer that question. That's kind of the great thing about this event is the way we have call outs. If people want to try to substitute running on the track for the dyno, we got call outs and stuff, His son Ron specced out the cam grind at Hunter's 389. Well, that's cool. Punisher Lamont says cars are faster on the internet than at the track. You better believe it. That keeps a lot of people away from things like racing events. That is correct. Well, Technician Troy, before we scare people about what it'll cost, let me just talk to somebody. There's got to be a mobile chassis dyno. And I got to tell you, just the nature of me, I know that a chassis dyno that's tuned to give bogus numbers is what gets, customers, but I would rather see an honest one. And if people don't like the numbers it gives them, I can't help that. I would rather see an honest dyno, because the decision to have somebody like that back will be based on participation and that kind of thing, not hero numbers. And I see my aunt is in the house. Well, hello, Aunt Nancy. Haven't seen you here in quite a while. Glad you're here. I did a short this morning. Speaking of Aunt Nancy, gotta find it here. This is how perfectly I parked when I backed the CRV up to the front of my Aunt Nancy's van. This is how close I got it. I got to where I could open the door that close. About 1/8 of an inch, maybe a quarter. I guess that one really right. Man, Aunt Nancy comes in here and look at all the energy in the chat. You woke them all up. Mean Street Mopar, how's everyone doing tonight? Well, you see it. I'm here working in the old house. I've got welding to do tomorrow. I've got carport headers to do Saturday or Sunday or something. And it's coming. But the orange paper comes with me. The orange paper is ubiquitous and omnipresent. It is everywhere. It doesn't slack up for anyone. Busy, I see that. So, but find out if it's a mobile chassis dyno, like comes in on a truck, because that is what would be. Danny Boyd says tomorrow is Saturday. That is correct, but also Sunday is the day after Saturday. Yeah, Aunt Nancy took a spill, got some broken bones. Aunt Nancy is very, very tough. Dean, I'm boringly well behaved. Really, I am. $492. Yeah, Smoke Wrench, you're 8 away, and unfinished project is lurking to be 500. If anybody here has just come in and you're not yet checked out and subscribed to Smoke Wrench Garage, his link is pinned at the top. I think he's 8 subscribers from 500. Be great if you went over tonight. I mean, this isn't a focused, 500 live, but why not? He's already gotten more than 10 just passively tonight. So we got 17 more minutes before top of the hour. If you have anybody you can send that channel out to and send it out, go ahead and do it. Be neat. We'll get it. Just tell Sean he got it. He's a racer. He's a real racer. So he's awfully. I've been trying to get him on a live. He says he's down for it. He races every weekend, which is great. Buffalo Brian tells my aunt to get well soon. Yeah, me too. Got to have her getting well. But she is tough. She will get well. My Aunt Nancy's very tough. Let me tell you. She used to live in a split-level house and moved an upright electric organ from one floor to the other through the foyer down that split foyer staircase by herself. So yeah, she'll get there, but it's just it's tough. Halfwit Labs wants a breeze and a working pressure washer. Don't know about the breeze, but I got a working pressure washer, and I got some pressure washing to do out here. Almost looks like a dump truck full of topsoil backed up on this front porch. Can't believe how quick stuff gets nasty again when you pressure wash. It's amazing. Danny Boyd says split levels rule. Ooh, I like them. They're okay. Depends how much furniture you have to move into one. Unfinished projects is a cat and a whip will take a piano up a staircase. I've moved pianos in and out of those foyers, and oh yeah. Mexican specs said my electric pressure washer did what electric pressure washers do. The motor seized up. That is correct. Karcher electric pressure washers are. So a friend of mine works on air and electric and hydraulic tools, and when he sees an electric pressure washer come through the door, he just wants to just run out the back and leave till they go away. I try to not have any more gas engines than I have to maintain at any one time, but I did opt for a gas engine on my pressure washer. For whatever reason, electrics, it just doesn't survive. There's Thumper. You came up earlier. We were talking about methanol and ethanol fuel. Thumper, you may want to go in and check the link on, or check the comments on that live we did on alcohol-based fuels, because there's probably people putting stuff in there. I mean, I haven't noticed, but you may want to. I know that Buffalo Brian there has been curious about learning about alcohol fuel. I say alcohol, and there's NSB custom cars. Did someone say beer? No, we're talking about alcohol fuel. Well, Danny Boyd, of course, he said beer. And beer is for after the track goes cold. Not me, but if that's what you guys are into, it's after the track goes cold. So what did they want to know? Just curious about how it works, because there are some guys who are running methanol in demo derby cars. And he said it seems like those engines are a lot harder to kill. So Buffalo Brian is looking to get some of your knowledge and wisdom. Your electric pressure washers lasted 5 years, half-foot labs? Well, that's awesome. That's like a record or something. Smoker says I'll be freed up in 15, 20 minutes. Tony's Hot Rod Garage. Somebody tell me, is Tony live in 12 minutes? I don't know. I didn't check. I think he is. Methanol burns very cold drum without a radiator. Exactly. And that's the draw to the demo derby crowd. I've seen people do that, actually. Yeah, because he had said something. I was thinking he meant like methane, like literally. That's what it'd be. Yeah, he's talking about methanol. There's Wendy English. How's it going? Yeah, that running without a radiator seems really cool. So Wendy saying Tony is live. Okay, top of the hour. Yeah, okay. Tony's scheduled for live. I have overlapped him a little bit by a few minutes before, like for certain different reasons. But when I do that, I'm always telling people it's Tony is live. He's going live, overlap a few minutes and go over there at the same time. So hopefully it works out right. The Twisted Mopar says propane is not a good race fuel at all. That is correct. It's clean though. But would it be a good demo derby fuel? Probably not. Exactly. That's what I was thinking was be the pressurized tank that you wouldn't want. NSB, there's lots of alcohol in the pits. Not my jam, but after the track goes cold. That's a stone cold rule. Nobody can participate under the influence of anything. J-Bo picked up another ATV. Cool. Number does you want a pressurized tank sitting next to you? I wouldn't in a demo derby, that's for sure. I wouldn't in anything. Under the influence of oxygen? Well, let's hope so. Danny Boy says, I won't drive or work on a car after drinking. You'd be surprised how many people will. I read a story today. In fact, I probably can just pull it right up because I think it was recent enough that I'll see it in my. Yeah. This was a drunk driver in Texas. This is pretty amazing. Get through all the ads. This guy goes in a bar in Texas somewhere. He's drinking these double vodka Red Bulls, whatever that is. It's Red Bull with 2 times vodka or something. He drinks one at 10:40, and the ad interrupts. He drinks one at 10:40, one at 10:56, one at 11:16 a.m. This is in the morning. One at 11:39, one at 12:03. One at 12:32, one at 12:54, one at 1:12, and he drank 8 total. He drinks 8 total. At 1:30 p.m. he gets in his car, and at 1:33 he hits a family, kills the dad, puts the mom in a coma for a month. Then he tries to run off on foot from the scene. It just, so yeah. But you'd be surprised how many people will drink like that and then go out and drive. Drove out of the parking lot at 1:30. Killed somebody at 1:33. Oh, and the bartender got charges too. Punisher, we'll see you, man. Looking forward to seeing you hit that $5.99. Be fun if you hit your $5.99 at Sykeston too. Something garage. Congratulations, man. Yes, 238 says, as the server should. Hey, freedom and responsibility, they're hand in hand. And we have great freedoms here, and we have great responsibilities to go with them. Oh, yeah, people do it all. Pistol Mopar is right all the time. Yeah, that's a good deal. Something. Smoke Wrench is still at 492. Well, he's got 8 to go, so we'll see. Smoke Wrench, are you racing tomorrow, or you want to just pick a time, just some crazy time right in the middle of the day and go live tomorrow? I don't know, whatever. If we did a purpose live, we'd have had it tonight, but this wasn't, of course. This would just get you closer. Thumper said my browser updated yesterday and now it keeps changing windows at random. Yeah, that kind of stuff happens. something, something, and smoke wrench hooking up. Yeah, that'd be like Ghostbusters crossing the streams. Yeah, there you go, Tony. Well, I think he only needs 8. The unfinished project, is hanging back for 500, so should be pretty easy. He should be able to give 7. We hadn't planned on it, but it's like, man, he's close. He's so close. He can probably actually get on your live potentially. I don't know kind of what you got going on tonight. Mexican Spec said, I made a conscious decision at 16 to not ever drink or take any drugs and haven't broken it other than aspirin. Me too. I'm all for freedom. You guys can do what you want. I have never had a drink of alcohol in my life or any drug. And never regretted it for a second. But that's just, it's just me. That's my program. What I do, you do what you want to do. There you go, Smoke Wrench. So I know you said you'd be free in a little bit. Tony goes on live after me here in a few minutes. You basically have 7 to get. You're 492. I bet you unfinished projects hanging back for 500. So here's what will happen. You'll get up to about 497, and everybody who wants to be your 500th will jump on it. If you don't get your 500 on Tony, we'll just make it happen. I just hadn't planned on it. Usually if we plan to do a 500 live, we tell people that's what we're doing, and they put their campaigns together by text and Facebook and all of that. And that's what makes the 500 happen so fast on lives where we plan it. They'll put their stuff out on Facebook and other social media, and that's how they get it. Brake fluid is a mess, indeed. Tall Garage, welcome, man. Yeah, Tall Ken. Tall Ken, you gonna bring your brother? Speaking of Tall, you gonna bring him out to No Name Nationals again? Tony's gonna bounce. Yep. Smoke Wrench joining me. He's going live here in just a few minutes, so we'll stay live here just a few more minutes till regular time, and then we'll go over to Tony's. Works out perfectly because I'm on the east and he's on the west, and so his live basically, what is it, Tony? 7 p.m. for you? All right, Mexican Spec is looking to sell some Mexican cars. Rust-free stuff, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Nice guys. Ken and his brother, just nice guys. Speaking of tall people, this just reminded me. Time I was talking with Tall John, there's a group of us who are live, and Tall John's Fun Shop. Tall John says, he says that one thing Tall John about when we met in person is he said, Wilbur never once even thought about or mentioned or anything about my height. He says, that's so refreshing. And to me, I'm like, well, why would I need to tell you you're tall? Why you know that, right? So it's interesting, but it's not a thing. I mean, why would you rob from somebody their ability to be known for anything else? Mexican Specs, we have Ford, manual, Fairmonts, Chrysler, Dusters, Chevy, Malibu. Mexican Spec, I would love to go to Mexico, but I would never go there unless I had somebody on the other side to help me know what to do, where to go, where not to go, how to not get in trouble, and just look at cars. I would love to do that. If you can tell me how to plan a trip to do that, I would love to do that. You and I can make content, whatever. I'd be all for it. Tall John 6'9", yeah. I didn't know his brother was 7. I know Ken's 6'6", his brother's 6'10". Yeah, Mexican Spec, I'm down for that. Mexican Specs says, I'm not in a tourist area, which means the people are nice. Cool. The only thing is, I just want to be safe because, I mean, the reputation for crossing the border into Mexico is not one of safety. That is not the reputation. I could be off base. I've never been. I don't know. Buff says I'm 5'7". Yeah, I'm not taller than a lot of people. I'm taller than Buff. Taller than Buff, taller than 2X, handful of people. But you know, I mean, that's the great thing about YouTube is it just doesn't even matter. Nobody cares. I know a guy who he runs a business in town where I live, and I don't know how tall he is. I think he might be 4'9" for real. He might be, but I mean, he carries himself like he's 6.5 feet tall and bulletproof. And he got a big personality and everything, and just but he's a little short guy, and he's real confident in it, and it's just this is cool. But people don't know that till they get like ordering parts from him and whatever. They don't know till they actually see him in person. Doesn't matter. It's just cool. It's all good. So Peckerwood Customs sent me this. He sent $20 on the street. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Buy some batteries for the walkie-talkies. Looks like health has blown my chance this year. Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what, Aaron. When it works out for you, let me know. We are looking forward to meeting you in person. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Aaron's always been a big supporter. Thumper's 5'8" in the morning and 4'3" in the evening. I hear that. I'm going to be 1 foot tall if that carport falls on me. I'm just going to take an hitters out of it tomorrow. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I know Tony's just firing up. So those of you, Tony's Hot Rod Garage is live, and he's just firing up. So go on in there and rattle his cage, and I'll stick my head in and say hi, but then I got to tear down here tonight. So thank you, guys. I appreciate you coming out. Thanks for your patience. Once I get this work wrapped up, I won't be coming to you from the Disheveled Studios here. We'll be back in the No Name Nationals studios. But anyway, for now, I'm just glad to be able to spend some time with you. And Slant Daily Garage, you get here like in 2 minutes of overtime. Thanks for swinging by, Shane. Tony's live now, though. Tony's Hot Rod Garage. Anyway, all right, guys, we'll see you all. Thank you much for turning out. Have a great weekend.